Welcome back. Let's jump right into this explainer, brought to you by Forge College. As we move through the wallets, account abstraction, and key management track, we've reached a pretty massive pivot point. We're transitioning from building your beautiful user interface over to stress testing your brand new smart contract vault. Think of it as putting on your white hat hacker gear.
In our last lesson, front-end integration for multisig-wallets, you successfully wired up the front door. You've got this slick, functioning UI that creates proposals and collects signatures seamlessly. But before we go ahead and store actual, valuable digital assets inside this vault, we have to ask the multi-million-dollar question, is this wallet actually secure? I mean, can it truly withstand a coordinated attack on the blockchain?
To figure that out, we're going to run a simulated bank heist on our own code. Here's the agenda for today. 1. The multisig security challenge. 2. Unit tests, checking the locks. 3. Fuzzing, expecting the unexpected. 4. Attack scenarios, the simulated heist. 5. Creating the debug report. And 6. Ready for final deployment. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The multisig security challenge. Right now, your codebase is working perfectly on a local level, but we need to spot vulnerabilities right now through rigorous threat modeling. The whole goal is to make sure fixes are applied before you finalize your capstone deployment, because trust me, you do not want to find out the locks are broken after you've already locked the money inside.
To pull this off, our methodology uses 3 distinct layers of testing against our local test network. We progress from verifying basic behaviors with unit tests to throwing absolute chaos at the contract with fuzzing, and then finally scripting targeted exploits with attack scenarios.
Section 2. Unit tests, checking the locks. Let's start with level 1. We're going to check the basic locks and bouncers in our access control test file. This is where we verify the contract is exactly what it's told under totally normal, everyday conditions.
As you can see here, this perfectly illustrates our baseline security. On the left, a valid owner call from an authorized signer succeeds, just like it should. But on the right, if an unauthorized address tries to make an owner-only call, it immediately reverts with a not owner error. The contract literally bounces them right at the door. No entry.
The big takeaway here is that these unit tests confirm our core invariants hold true. They act as your primary safety net. We're mathematically proving the contract will reject non-owner execution, enforce the exact signature threshold required, and increment nonces sequentially to keep the state perfectly aligned.
Moving right along to Section 3, fuzzing, expecting the unexpected. Now that we know the locks work for normal users, we introduce the chaos monkey approach in our fuzzing test file. This is where testing gets really fun.
So if unit tests are checking whether the right keys work, fuzzing is seeing what happens when a hacker tries to open the vault door with a banana. Seriously, we input randomized, unexpected, or extreme edge case data to uncover handling bugs. It's like sending 500 pages of zeros as a signature just to see if the contract panics, crashes, or accidentally opens up. By throwing hundreds of randomized iterations at the contract, using wildly varying nonces and weird call data sizes, we make absolutely sure that vital rules stay unbroken under pressure. Take the rule that a nonce never, ever decreases, for example. We emphasize this heavily in the advanced programs at Forge College. You can't just test for what should happen, you have to rigorously test for what shouldn't.
Which brings us to level 3. Section 4. Attack scenarios. The simulated heist. This is the climax of our testing. We script coordinated adversary sequences in our attack scenarios file. We aren't throwing random data anymore. We're acting with targeted, malicious intent.
Take a look at this comparison. In a normal transaction, you have a unique nonce, valid signatures, and everything runs smoothly. But in a replay attack, we simulate real-world villains doing sneaky stuff, like taking a proposal that's already been executed and reusing an old nonce to try and double spend or drain funds. We're testing to see if our contract is smart enough to recognize a trick it's already seen.
We are actively trying to break our own contract using targeted exploits. We'll replay executed proposals, submit dangerously malformed signature batches to test for malleability, and even simulate non-threshold signer collusion to see if we can withstand an inside job. If your contract survives all this, it's ready for the Wild West of Web3.
Section 5. Creating the debug report. Once the dust settles on our simulated attacks and chaos monkeys, we compile every failing test log, crash, and unexpected revert into a structured, highly actionable debug report. We grade every single vulnerability on this severity matrix, mapping each finding directly back to our security goals. Critical issues, that means a potential loss of funds, so you fix those immediately. High severity means state corruption, patch it and retest. And medium or low issues like unexpected reverts or inefficient checks give us a roadmap to optimize our gas and tighten the code.
And for every bug we find, minimal reproduction scripts are absolutely required. You have to capture a minimal reproduction test by hard-coding the exact randomized input or malicious payload that caused the failure. Why? Because if you can't reliably reproduce the bug, you literally cannot verify that your fix actually worked.
Finally, Section 6, ready for final deployment. We're taking that completed debug report and using it as an architectural blueprint to squash those bugs, tighten front-end validations, and permanently harden the vault.
We can only tag our report ready for deployment review when every single item on this checklist is marked complete. Critical and high issues must be fixed. Fuzz results must be fully reproducible, the remediation plan documented, and we absolutely must have full attack vector test coverage. No shortcuts here.
I want you to really remember this quote. Treat access control as the primary safety net and treat nonce guards as business logic invariants. Because testing isn't just about hunting for typos. It's about proving mathematically that your core security logic simply cannot be bypassed no matter how hard someone tries.
So, your vault is now battle-tested, debugged, and mathematically sound. You are fully prepared for the final capstone deployment. Taking a smart contract from a simple concept to a fortress is no small feat. I highly encourage you to visit forge.college to explore more Web3 engineering topics and keep building. But before we wrap up, tell me, when the time comes, how confident will you be in the locks on your own digital fortress?